Back again. Still February 5th, 2021. This is part 3. I ended saying that me and Jen was supposed to meet in 2 weeks. Well, unbeknownst to me, I was dealing with my own situation for those 2 weeks, dealing with the county. I called them up, asked for the soil test, told me if I wanted the soil test that I had to contract their engineering department for the plans and everything, which of course is more money. I told them I wasn't interested in that. I just want the soil test. They refused to do it. Oh, yeah, I was told that this other person could do it. Again, I'm not going to get into explicit detail in the video. I filed all this in the federal court. If you're interested in really seeing a well-written legal paper, I suggest that you get it, because it is available. I filed it under restricted manner to try to protect those other persons and myself. I wanted it restricted to the judge and to the attorneys until they decided what they were going to do with the investigation. Okay, because if they're investigating these people and I'm out there, I'm in jeopardy. But if they don't know they're being investigated or to what level, I mean, of course, the litigants know. So, anyways, it is what it is. But you could get it if you want it. So, I'm going to talk generally. If you get the legal documents, it'll have their names, the dates that these things happened, the times they happened, recordings of things. And like I said, the first crime was committing the fraud on the public by misrepresenting the availability to my lot and the street. Because I'm on the road, I paid for road access, I paid a permit, therefore I require service at this address. Refused to give me an address, used the 5-acre plat number as if there's nothing there. That's a fraud. So then I call him up. I want the soil test. First lady refuses, says, call this guy. Call this guy. All right. And I says, yeah, I want the soil test. He says, he'll do it. We came to an agreement for $50. He said he'd do it for less if I got the excavator myself and I dug the hole. So we had an agreement. He calls back. I don't answer. Leaves a voice message. Says that he needs another $500 for the engineering plans. That the county guy told him that he can't just do the soil test for me. Well, that's a fraud. It's extortion on the county part. Okay, because he's ordering another person to take more money from me. Now, I don't have to show where that money goes. I mean, a jury's smart enough to know that you can't do that. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's more likely than not, ladies and gentlemen. Right? But it's clear. I got the voice message saying that now he needs another $500 for the engineering plans. He has to renege on our agreement according to what the county directed him to do. So I'm thinking, if this woman calls up the county and says, listen, no. I don't have to pay an extra $500. Oh, you could put it in the ground yourself. We just want another $500 for our plans. Plans that you can get off of freaking goddamn internet. Let's face it, people. These soil tests, all right, are not that precise. I mean, they basically talk about different grades. What I was interested in is the microbiome, because that's what actually does the work. The soil grade itself only goes to permeability and how well the water can percolate. Okay? It says nothing about the treatment of the water. So if the biome in the ground is not sufficient, or if it's only sufficient to handle a certain amount of waste, okay? Those are the things that really treat it. Otherwise, it's just percolating it down anyway. It don't matter whether you just did it without this whole system. It's irrelevant. I mean, you separate some solids, but you're still going to have organisms that are going to come over the, that are going to wash over into your leach field tubes. Okay? I know all this. But I didn't want the expense anyway, because I had my minimalism down to about 64 gallons a week for hygiene purposes. And I also met some friends, a couple, who had a water source that they allow the public to get water from. So, I had enough. And this is the 21st century. I mean, I'm off grid, but I'm not that far from accommodations. I mean, if they got really bad and I needed to go to a hotel or something, they're there. I mean, I'm in Pueblo right now. 2 days ago, I was walking around in shorts and a shirt. It was like wicked warm, right? And then it gets really cold. It's weird weather out. But hey, it's not like I don't have an outlet. I don't have to, in my building. I don't have to have everything. I don't need a washer and dryer. I don't need a shower. I don't need all that. And they can't force me to have those accommodations. And it's not in my site plan. It's not the building I wanted to build. Okay? So what's the reason? So anyways, they're trying to take me for this money. I'm like, okay, now I got to sue these people. I told them, I said, listen, man, you can't do that. All right? And I have a right to redress on my site plan that I'm going to be filing here pretty soon. So I filed the site plan. Now, while that was going on, I get a call from Jen on my way to the face-to-face appointment. She says, oh, no, we didn't have a face-to-face, right? So now, just so you know, they kept putting treatment off. I've been in Colorado now since June of 2020. This is February 2021, and I've gotten very minimal. All I've gotten was blood work done. They wouldn't treat me. They kept putting me off to people in Alamosa. I mean, they figured they're going to run me out of town, apparently. I didn't know what was going on at first. But, when you go back and you look, and the kind of person I am, I'm documenting everything I'm doing with video, and my receipts. Those are I call my breadcrumbs. Okay? Bank accounts, everything. So, I mean, I'm legit. I'm not here to cause any problems, but these people are just vicious people. I like to say it's prejudice, I mean, you can call it what you want. They just don't want people there. It's not just me. It's if you're apparently around there too long, right? Anyway, so I'm like, no, I was supposed to have a face-to-face, and one thing about me is hearing, on the phone. If I know you, I could probably figure out who you are. But with women, a lot of women sound alike. Unless you really spend time with them. And a lot of women, you talk to them on the phone. A lot of them sound the same to me. If I never met them and I don't know them, or But anyways, but I wasn't thinking it wasn't her. I thought, oh, well, maybe the person misunderstood, because she asked me if I wanted a face-to-face, and she looked over at you, and we had a face-to-face in 2 weeks. But anyway, so what's up kind of thing, right? Well, we started getting into a conversation. I started to open up a little bit, and then I started to realize that I didn't think it was her, or that she was with other people. I knew it was on a speaker. So then I, pulled back, and anyways, without getting into all that, it'd take too long. I figured something was up, but I didn't understand. I mean, a lot of times, especially going back to the peekaboo, right? A lot of times when I don't go for the peekaboo, I don't know what these women think. I mean, I guess they're getting serviced whenever they want, apparently. Which is fine. I mean, if that's the way they want to run their lives. I mean, it's enjoyable, right? Me, personally, I need up front. You know, I mean, listen, you know, I ain't playing with my health, right? I lived through the AIDS crisis. I had scarlet fever. Okay, I've had different diseases that I survived from. And those weren't because I brought them on myself, but I learned how to protect myself. And that's very important. So having a healthy sexual relationship with a person is what everybody should have, I believe. You know, this running around, going in and out of all these people and whatever, I mean, maybe that's why I'm pretty healthy at my age. I mean, I got problems. I'm 60, okay? But I'm just saying, for a guy my age, you know, I haven't been feeling well lately, okay? But if I was as healthy as I was when I came to Colorado, then, you know, anyways, so we were supposed to have an appointment set up. So I go to the appointment. And this is where stuff starts really turning for the worse. Not only do I have the county on 2 frauds as far as I'm concerned, that I can win in a civil matter. And if they cash the sewer permit, now I got them on something else, right? I got them on 14th Amendment violations for not giving me due process. They take the money, they don't do anything. Anyways, so at the same time, this VA track is going. It's like 2 parallel tracks. And then I've had my disability out since October 2019, right? And when I call my lawyer, I says, listen, I can't deal with these people over here in Alamosa because I think they're taking people's personal information. This small town is, you wouldn't believe the crime that has been committed against me since I've been in Colorado, and I'm going to get to that. So far, we got extortion, fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud. You know, what they call it extortion or fraud, it's just about who committed the offense, right? All right, and then I'm not getting my due process right civilly, right? And then now I go to this appointment thinking I got the opportunity to see Jen again and see if she's still affectionate towards me, if, you know, she's still receptive to my person, you know, and tell her, you know, listen, I can get somebody else, you know, I want to take you out or whatever, right? But if she's just a peekaboo, then she's going to just think there's something wrong with me, that I can't do it or something. There's some kind of fantasy in her mind, right? I guess these ladies must be getting service, well, like I said, whenever they want. So, hey, you can't wait, right? You know, get a real man. No. Hey, whatever. All right, but don't insult my fucking junk. All right? Anyways. Yeah. I'm reinforcing that because people are insulting my junk. You know, too. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with mine. So anyways, you know, they can't even play ball with me for a little bit. Right? Anyway, so we're going to have a peekaboo, or we're going to have a woman that's really interested in knowing me, at least on the level that we had a contract and an agreement on, and maybe, you know, go further than that or whatever, right? Didn't happen. I get there, I'm sitting down, and this heavyset woman comes out. And she looks at me, and she's handing some slip to some dude. Now, mind you, there's only like, again, you have to understand, there's hardly any people here. It's like 3,700 souls, right? And there ain't even that many people that have access to me, because they're spread out all 100 miles away, right? And yet they got 2 federal agencies right there employing people for hardly any people. But anyway, she passes a note to this old guy, right? And I'm saying to myself, she goes, I'll be right with you. And I'm like, who is this lady? Right? I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? So then she turns around to talk to the woman. I start examining her to see, because that's what I do with people. I examine them or whatever. And if it's something important, my brain will remember, you know. But I'm looking at her. She got 2 tattoos, right? On each leg, I can identify her. So she wearing, you know, like a, I don't know, deerskin kind of thing, jagged looking. At the time, no panties on. Right? At the time, I seen a lot of skin, but I didn't know that she didn't have any panties on, right? Or a thong, at least, right? It don't matter, right? I'm a man, but still, you know, this is a professional environment. So she asked me to come in, and I'm walking behind her again. Okay. I don't know what you guys are picking up, but this ain't the woman that I was, it ain't the same size woman, you know, it ain't the same, nothing about her is the same woman, right? So I'm like, what's up with this, right? So I said, well, I'm glad to be here and talk to you. And so we sit down, and I'm looking at her, I says, well, you're not her. And she says, oh, no, I'm the woman you met the first time. I'm like, okay. So let me tell you about what I was going to tell you. So I start saying, oh, no, what? Listen, this woman sexually harassed me, okay? She lifted up her ass, right? She lifted her leg up, showed me her whole ass. I could see the fucking panty line, no panties on. I mean, listen, she got her ass like fucking, what, 4 feet away from my nostrils? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, some people just, anyways, I'm not going to get into all that, right? But anyways, and then she proceeded to tell me how I wasn't going to get any. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here in my mind, right? So I'm going to just let her go with it. I mean, what can I do? I can't stop people. Again, I said, I can't stop people from doing what they're going to do to me. This is unbelievable, right? So here comes a woman who's going to say that she was Jen, all right, and that I didn't meet the first woman, and that I'm not going to have a sexual relationship with her, and that she's going to set up a treatment plan for me. And I'm like, I don't fucking think so, lady. And I walked out of there. Make a long story short. Never set foot in there again. Called up the supervisors, complained. Okay, so now I have to complain. Now they're taking away my health care at the VA. So I'll end this part here.